Hey, what's up? Bob here. Thought I would come on today and talk about a group of records that I bought yesterday. There's quite a few of them. There's 15. And I thought I'd tell you guys the story about how I got the records, and we'll go through the records somewhat quickly because there is a lot of them. I might say something about each one and then we'll move on. I plan on getting into these records deeper at another time, but there's a lot, so we're gonna get into it. So yesterday was Sunday, and I was doing what I always do on Sundays, just sitting around playing a little guitar, and I got a phone call from my friend Ben at Better Days Records here in Louisville, Kentucky. And if you don't know, I've done several videos with Ben. One a few years back, actually, called Grail Sale, where Ben had got a large jazz collection. Me and Jeffrey Lee Puckett went there. We went through the records. There was a bunch of John Coltrane, a bunch of Miles Davis. And I ended up getting a lot of that stuff, a lot of very, very clean original pressings, and a lot of things I had been looking for a long time. Then there was another time that I went and got a bunch of Bill Evans. So this is my third time getting a call like this from Ben, and we thought that the collection was completely tapped out. From what we knew, there was only one box left, and it was full of classical titles. Turns out, once Ben finally got around to investigating that box, it was all jazz. There was no classical in there. So he called me up. He said, I got a box of jazz. You should come down here and look at it. It's from the collection. So I was supposed to be there at noon. I boogied on down there, and I was first. I was the first person to get there. I got 15 titles, so let's get into it. I've listened to most of these now, and this was sort of a blind buy for me. I was not familiar with this exact record. I'm more than familiar with Harold Land, but I had never seen this before. A New Shade of Blue, Harold Land. Turns out this is a beautiful sounding record. There is one track on here called Matum, and it is a beautiful sounding song. It's got this cool mainstream label. This is very clean, near mint. It's a great sounding record. Saw this very clean record from the Art Ensemble of Chicago. This is on ECM. Nice guys. Cool looking cover here. It's on your classic ECM label. You know, I've never really been into Art Ensemble of Chicago. I have some friends, hi Nick, who are, and I thought that I would kind of get my feet wet by picking this one up. I have to say, yeah, it's an interesting record. I'm going to have to give it a few listens before I drop the hammer on how I feel about it. But next, I started seeing some blue notes in the box, and this one was very clean in the shrink. Something I've never seen before. Frank Foster, Manhattan Fever. Now I looked this record up, and it's not very expensive. It averages at about $15. But this one is super clean. It's a Liberty. Beautiful shape. It's kind of funky, 70s later Liberty Blue Note stuff. I dig that stuff. I'm really starting to get into the later Blue Note catalog, and I really like this. This is really nice sounding record. All of these records sound incredible, and I think a lot of it just has to do with the condition, honestly. I mean, there's all near mint and just sound great. Admittedly, I was excited when I saw this next record. Rob the Waxed did an interview with this gentleman Garrett Sriracha. And this was a Record Store Day release this year. Sriracha in medio, and I didn't say that right, but this is an original pressing of the record on Impulse. The original pressing was a quad, and I had plans to get this record. As I walked into Better Days, I saw there's still copies from Record Store Day up on the wall, and as I was walking past it, I kind of peeped it just to see what they had on it, $24.99. And when I went to the back to look at the box, I had no idea that this was going to be in there. And when I saw it, I snatched it out quick. I was like, that is coming home. When Rob did his interview with Garrett, I checked this record out, and boy, is it awesome. It's super funky. There's like some psychedelic guitar in places, incredible piano, all types of percussion. It's a great record. And I would suggest that if you can get your hands on the Record Store Day copy, you should. This is one of the coolest records I've found in a long time. The next record is a record that I have found before. I saw it at Half Price Books for $7.99. I did not know what it was. I knew it was obviously McCoy Tyner, but I just didn't think much about it. I left it there. 3 times I visited, and I didn't get it any of the times. Eventually someone else bought it, and later on I found out that this record, McCoy Tyner's Sahara, is a fantastic album. I put this on last night, and it was blowing me away. McCoy Tyner plays like an absolute monster on here. It's really great. This one is in fantastic shape. It's still in the shrink. It's near mint. It's on the original label. This is on Milestone. Yeah. The later pressings have like a red label, but so I think this is the very first pressing of the record, and it is super nice. I was so happy to see this because it was a bit of redemption from stupidly leaving it behind so many times before, and I was really happy. There were 2 copies of this record there. Jeffrey Lee Puckett got the other one, so that was very cool. Next, I saw some Impulse stuff, and I like Archie Shepp, and this was incredibly clean, so I grabbed it. Archie Shepp live in San Francisco. Now, this is exactly what you would think it is. It is an Archie Shepp live record, and this is actually a bit of a later reissue on that label, but I have quite a few of these, and they're fine, sound good, and I don't know. I thought I'd take a chance on this. I haven't listened to it all the way through yet. I listened to 1 track and was like, okay, I'll come back to that. But it's super clean, and it did sound good. A couple of releases from Charles Lloyd. The first one being this one, Soundtrack. This is live cuts of Charles Lloyd, some stuff from Forest Flower. This sounds pretty good for a live record, and it's on this interesting red Atlantic label. This is a Canadian pressing, so it sounds okay. I thought I would take a chance on it. Several of these records were complete blind buys for me. I just liked the way they looked and grabbed them. In general, I'm a Charles Lloyd fan, so I didn't feel like I was taking too much of a risk. This one is minty. It's a mono. The Charles Lloyd Quartet Dreamweaver is so clean. It's on that pink, purple, and orange, maybe, Atlantic label. Very clean record. This is a bit more free jazz, kind of outside sounding record. Very cool. I was glad to get that. I saw this early on, and I knew I was going to have to get it because it's Lee Morgan, Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Bobby Hutcherson, George Coleman, and others. Yeah. Lee Morgan, the Procrastinator. I thought this was like a twofer at first, and then I started looking at it and realized that it's the original pressing of the record, and it's all original material. It's not like 2 other Lee Morgan records housed in a specially marketed package. This is a real record from Lee, and I listened to it today, and it sounded fantastic. I mean, Lee Morgan always sounds great, right? But I really like that later period Lee Morgan stuff, and this is right in there. He's playing kind of slinky stuff, and it's kind of more chill. It's a little darker sounding, a little more ominous and exotic. I really like this. I put this on, it blew me away. That said, there was another Lee Morgan record there that I was on the fence about just because the cover doesn't look that great. It's this Lee Morgan Taru, maybe? I listened to this today, and a lot of it's really chill, but Jesus, it's beautiful sounding. It's really great. It is on that blue note label with the white V, and you know, the cover looks kind of generic, but beautiful music. If you see this, make sure you pick it up. It's fantastic. Now, a record that has a cover that doesn't look generic at all. This is a beautiful cover, and was not familiar with the record, but just based on the cover alone, it had to come home. Freddie Hubbard, The Black Angel. This is an absolutely stunning piece of art on the front. It's on a typical Atlantic label. Typical Freddie Hubbard stuff. He's burning, it's funky, it's up-tempo, it's great. And I was super happy to find this. It's ultimately clean, it's super nice. Yeah, Freddie Hubbard. Now, as happy as I was to find that, there's one Freddie Hubbard record that I have been looking for forever. I mean, virtually since I started collecting jazz, I've been looking for this record. So it's been years now. And when I flipped to it, I immediately pulled it out like, yeah, that's coming home. No matter the price. So when I saw this near mint copy, I couldn't be contained. Freddie Hubbard, Red Clay on CTI. Yeah. This is fantastic. And I got to tell you, this is an incredible sounding record, turns out. I knew it was good. I've listened to it on Spotify and YouTube and all that many times. But actually dropping the needle on this thing and listening to it, it's on that green CTI label. It's so clean, it's so nice, and I was just like, okay, here we go. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful record. Freddie Hubbard, Red Clay, big grail for me, actually. Big grail. Speaking of grails, Bill Evans with Freddie Hubbard, Jim Hall, Percy Heath, and Philly Joe Jones. This is an original stereo on Riverside. Interplay. This is a great record. It's similar to the other Bill Evans, Jim Hall records, except Freddie Hubbard is on it and he's shredding. It's great. You know, I'm always looking for Bill Evans stuff. This one's on the black Riverside label. This is really clean, really nice sounding. Highly suggest getting this. Maybe get the OJC. It's a great record. All right, this next record was a total blind buy. I picked it up and I thought the cover looked cool, so I had it in my stack, and at the end, because I don't know what it is, I put it to the side, and Ben was like, no, that's a cool record, you should get it. And he just kind of threw it in for free onto the pile, and I was like, all right. It's Mark Murphy, Midnight Mood. I thought this was a cool looking cover. It's on maybe Saba. This is a first German pressing, which evidently is the first pressing of the record. It's a vocal jazz record, and it sounds spectacular. This is like a super audiophile record. The playing is great. The singing is good, and it is recorded very carefully. Very carefully. I mean, this is a great sounding record. And super clean. I'm glad that Ben made me take this because it is good. And turns out it's quite desirable. All right, here we go. Last but not least, a record that I have actually passed on a few different times because it was a later pressing and I wanted an original pressing of the record. For a while, I was a little scared of this record because the cover is kind of, it's not a great cover. But it has Sonny Rollins and Elvin Jones, so how could it be bad? East Broadway Rundown. Sonny Rollins on Impulse, and this is quite possibly the cleanest copy in existence. I don't think it was ever played. It is so nice. It is so nice. Yeah. It's on that original Impulse label. I mean, this thing is flawless. Sonny's tone on here, like always, huge, beautiful sounding. The interplay between Sonny and Elvin is next level stuff. Just a fantastic record. The back is also very, very plain. The graphic design on this record is not very good. Jimmy Garrison is on bass. This little photo that's up here, right, is probably from the same series of photographs that ended up on Freedom Suite, the reissue. I'll find a way to show you that. But this is a great sounding Sonny Rollins record. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was coming home. Couldn't believe it. So, yeah. Beast of a stack. 15 records total. Incredible. Me and Ben negotiated a price. I paid him a small ransom for the records and I was on my way. So, all right, guys, I'll see you soon. I've been doing a short on Thursdays, one short on Thursdays. I've been doing a little series called Record Collecting 101. I'll probably do a number of those videos and then go to something else. And the shorts are just a cool way to give a little piece of something. I'm trying to do stuff that's offers some type of something that's not just a total throwaway piece of content. So anyway, all right, I'll see you guys around. Take it easy. Here we got a box.
Well,
already it's producing some cool stuff.
Hey, do you want to? We need to be able to flip through it.
Yeah, we're going to.
Okay.
Already. Gonna get that.
And I know that was one reason why I'm like, oh, this is gonna be one of them boxes.
Oh yeah, there's some cool stuff in here, for sure. More Lee Morgan, that's a twofer right there. The Procrastinator. We'll grab that. Maybe so. Hampton Halls. Gillen. Alright. I'll just pull that. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's several hardcore time.
So we're here at Better Days Records in Louisville, Kentucky. And I have been kindly alerted about this box of jazz right here. And as you can see, there's some heat in here, like this quintet record with Herbie Hancock. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Pablo. Pull that. Oh, I got this for you. But, yeah. There's all kinds of stuff in here. But, yeah, we're gonna go with this. Oh, Clifford Brown. I do not have much Clifford Brown, and I need some. You know?
Chick Career?
It might be. Let's see what we got here. Nope, it's more Charles Lloyd.
Oh, it's Charles Lloyd. Oh.
That's pretty cool looking. Nope. Here's a great Chick Corea record, though.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in, actually. I might. This is great. Yeah. Doffy. Oh, finally. Fucking
that might be
10 years. Fuck yeah. Oh, I just saw a record I gotta have. That was the record store day record.
I'm gonna say
I gotta have that. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Yeah, this is killing.
Oh yeah.
Look at this, Freddie. Oh, Jesus, this is getting good. This shit's getting wild. Losing the abstract truth. Oh, man, I got the tone poet of that, but we're going to look at that anyway. Come on. This is getting really good. There's some pretty cool records in here. Yeah. Fuck yeah. This is wild. Charlie Parker Memorial. I'm going to pull that. I don't have any Charlie Parker, man.
That's a good record too, right there. But do you have it right?
No. I'm gonna grab all this stuff. We just keep looking. Oh, Unimon, so good. I gotta grab that. Okay. Here we go. Come on.
Look, Barbara Streisand.
At the end. All right, me and Ben are going to negotiate these prices, and
okay,
I'm going to try to look at these records. Oh, wait, we got more. Oh, man, you just sewed that one to pocket. This one's clean. Oh, geez. Invitation. Jocko, I got it. I got a beautiful copy, but still, keep going. Let me see what else. I saw it. We're going to get to. Let me put that later. I'm like, keep going. The Lonely Smokes, the Town Hall. Oh, that's nice. I've got a good copy. Okay. Man, that's beautiful. Puckett's going to want that. You got one of those out there in the racks. This is beautiful stuff. There's lots of... Oh, no.
That's another...
Jeez, Louise.